this is going to show you a little bit about how to use SQL Server to set up a mock CRM system. If you don't use SQL Server or you're not in this demo, we'll show you an alternative later where you can just use a SharePoint list to do the same thing. So within my SQL management environment, I'm going to create a new database, and I'm just going to call it SQL CRM. Now again, if you wanted to create your own particular environment, you can go and ask for to create a new table within your database. But in this particular case, I'm going to import one. So I'll show you how to do that. Under the SQL Server options, you'll see Import and Export Data. If you go to that program and choose a flat file source, you'll find the file in the demo pack. Once you've clicked on it, highlight that the column names are in the first row of the data and click Next. Everything else on my computer was defaulted. Next, you pick your SQL database that you want to install. This is actually based on my computer and it has the name Qorus UK. Once you've found the particular database, it will give you connected to the SQL server, it will give you the list of databases. Choose SQL CRM. Pressing Next will take you through the default menus, and Finish should see a successful upload of your data. You can check this by going back into the Management Console, choosing the SQL CRM database, and examining the table Demo List Uploads. The last thing to do here is to create a stored procedure so that you can pull back the information that you need. Under Stored Procedures, Programmability and Stored Procedures, ask for a new stored procedure. You can get rid of the comments at the top and add your own author information if you wish. In this particular example, I'm calling the procedure Get CRM Info. And the parameter that I want to create once I change my mind, is going to be called ID to look up. I don't quite go just yet because I've made a little mistake there. We'll come back to that in a second. And then I change the select line to select star from our database, where ID to look up is equal to the customer ID that's going to be sent in. I executed this procedure and it comes up with an error because I forgot to put in what type of parameter ID to look up is. So I'm just going to add, in this case it's a varchar, 40 characters, and I'm going to execute that again. It's been completed successfully, and so you should now be able to see it under your Programmability Store Procedures list. If you don't want to connect to a SQL database to use as your CRM example, then this is an alternative. You've already uploaded a list called Customer List into SharePoint, so we can connect to that instead. On your Qorus ribbon, if you go to your data tags and select Add Source, I'll call this Alternate CRM. Find your customer list within your SharePoint site and select the fields that you want it to return. In this case, it's pretty much all of them. I'll just go down and tick these. Right up to the last name of the primary contact. And I want it to return the values from this list when the customer ID that I send in is equal to the customer ID that I enter in my request docs table. I say OK, and it'll ask me to do a test. I pick a test line, and yes, you can see it's returning information. So there we go. If you don't set up your CRM on SQL, you can set up a dummy version or an alternative version using a SharePoint list. We have the information uploaded. Now we just have to upload our template. If you go to your request doc list, where you'll be generating the Qorus documents from, choose the list ribbon and then select template settings. You'll see that currently there are no templates. So we can click on the Documents tab and the New option. It'll ask you for a name. In this case, I'm going to call it the Fund Update Letter and say OK. And that'll simply create for me a Word document. I click on the link and it will load straight up into Word. In your demo pack, you have a Word document already there. Navigate to that Word document and open it also. Once there, do a Select All, Control A on PCs, and Control C or Copy. Then go back to your templated document and Control V or Paste. For some reason my Word likes to add double spacing in my paragraphs, so I'm just going to do a Select All and then choose the paragraph option and change styles and reduce my paragraph spacing to no spacing. What I'm going to do at this point though is just save my first version. Because I have version control switched on, it's going to ask me for a comment, and I'll leave that. It's all good practice. Okay, so I'm now going back into my request doc list. I'm finding my Qorus template and I'm uploading it. I've clicked on my Qorus ribbon within Word. If you haven't got the Qorus add-in for Word, this is how you get it. Simply choose a list, find the list ribbon and click Template Settings. Then choose the Documents ribbon and you'll see the Install Qorus Office add-in icon right there. Click that and it'll install into your Office Word version.